Hello, everyone. Hello, how you all doing? Yeah. Yes, so we're here for Mutation, the March edition, and this is an amazing invention by our beautiful sister here, Delight. It's like, if you ask me, it's like a family where you get to express yourself. You know, the kind of energy you feel when you are not alone. Some conversations you cannot have with yourself alone. You come out there and talk about this with a community that cares and want to talk about it. So today we're going to talk about a lot of conversation. But before that, we'll be going through the process of introduction. So we're introducing ourselves. Your name first, what you do, and why are you here, and what are your expectations for today. Your name, what you do, why are you here, and what are your expectations. So I'll be starting with the beautiful lady. Yeah, Rejoice. You can tell us your name, what you do. Let's have you. All right.
Okay, I'm Rejoice Innocent. I am a registered nurse midwife. I'm here for the um, program of the day, and I expect that going home today, one, I'll learn something new. Two, I'll be able to um, share my views with others concerning the topic of the day, and also learn something new today. Thank you.
Let's jump our hands together for Rejoice. All right. It's very good you're with the mic. So you just introduce yourself. What do you do? Why are you here? And who invited you? So let's have you on board.
Okay, yeah, my name is Goswell. Okay,
Goswell.
yes, Goswell. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm a graphic designer.
Oh, perfect.
Yes, so
What are your expectations?
yeah, I expect that I'm going to learn something new. Yeah, concerning the topic attachment style.
Hmm.
I will say I don't know so much about it, so I hope that by the end of today I should learn something about it.
All right, thank you very much. I think we'll take it to her. All right. I think the cameraman. All right, so you're also part of the session as well. So I'd like you to introduce yourself, what you do. You might want to open both the mic. Thank you very much. So you'll be telling me your name, what you do, and why are you here? Yeah. What are your
Okay, so my
expectations?
name is Lane. I am a music artist and
Wow.
I'm here to learn more things about emotions, relationship, and how to relate with people. And I am also wanting to learn also new things that I can go on with.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Let's jam our hands together. Let the energy be high. We're here to commit. Like I find this as a community where we can talk. You know that kind of stuff that you can't tell your mom when you were younger. Like, okay, how do we say such a thing? We're here to discuss it. We're all adults here. We're going to talk about everything as it is. No ID, no using T and P. It is a M. Don't touch this place. So we're going to talk about it. Every single thing right here. So it's not new that we're talking about attachment styles and assessment. So to start with, I'm going to be asking us a lot of very crucial questions. But before I go into it and the convener of the show will come and talk about what we're here to do today, um, I want to just talk about the convener. Of course, we know the convener of the show is Bookie, aka Delight, also known as Delight. Okay, Delight. Delight aka Bookie, and when she told all of us about this vision she had to run with, which is mutation, because she has a lot of passion to talk to people in terms of health, in terms of mental health per se, how to improve people's life, ensure that they are more developed beyond their community. You can be in a community where you think that the ideology hasn't grown, but you can be a revolutionary around it. So it's a beautiful time to be here and to be alive to see that this program might start small, but it's going to grow to be bigger and bigger all around the world. So let's jam our hands together for the convener. It's not every time you see a young person coming up with things that can inspire people. They rather invest it in making money. You get so let's jam our hands together once again. Yes. Ooh. So to start with, We've networked, we've spoken, we've done introduction. So what we're talking about today is according to what we have here, attachment styles and assessment. So to even start with, we're going to be having some crucial conversation in which you will come on board and put us through. But before then, do anyone believe in love? Because prior to this time, someone has said, love don't cast for Lagos, so love no day Lagos. So they've said it already. So we're here to find out. What people want to know as an MC. Do you believe there's love? Forget the states. Do you even believe love is real at this moment? Because I know that in our olden days, like our forefathers' time, we know that there's something called love. Love perseveres, love suffers. You also say, yes, I'm my Lord. But now the generation is a total different package, a total different ballgame. It's what are you bringing to table? What am I bringing to table? Can it work? We're not doing okay because I'm a man. Everything goes like everyone has to bring something to table. So in this generation, do you feel like love does exist? So I'll start with you, brother that's blinking eyes. Do you believe love exists? Before we now talk about or go dive into the real conversation, does love exist to you?
Okay, yeah, I believe that love still exists.
Why? Ever been in love before? Ad boy, lover boy, playboy? Which one?
It's very funny. But okay, I know that love has been abused over time.
Hmm.
And people have taken advantage that love them, for their own selfish reasons. But that doesn't mean that there are no real people who can love you
Hmm.
genuinely. So I'm one of those people that can still love my heart.
Aww.
So I know
Oh.
that there is someone there too who also believes in what I believe. So
And she's a female gender.
a female gender,
And she
exactly.
really,
So somehow we will connect together.
oh,
Something like that.
oh, ma, we should
Yeah.
connect Bluetooth. Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. All right,
Yeah.
I love the fact that you believe that okay, love. You emphasize on the fact that love has been abused, but yet
Yeah.
there's still some people getting it right.
Yeah.
What do you feel, Joyce? Let's be honest, too, because I know you have boyfriend. Who that we know. Let's hear. Let's hear. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so for me, I still believe that love exists,
Okay.
and with everything that's been going on now, I think most relationships nowadays,
Yeah.
they tend to try to work out things, and some have started looking towards as in how the olden people did theirs,
Hmm.
as in just to try to do it their way to see if it will work, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Why
Oh,
sometimes
so
it works out, and someone will say that you should find your own person.
Hmm.
Like if you want to find your own person, that the love will work
Yeah.
out. So
So, which is your own style? Because you've given us a different entire idea. You said the traditional way. Some people have decided to say, okay, we're tired of this Gen Z and millennial style. Let's try the way our old forefathers did it. So now, for you, which works for you? Do you vibe with the traditional way or our way or make your way your way?
okay, I would say a little of the traditional style and a little of
Uh-uh.
this way.
My Royal Highness, I shall bring the tea for you. I shall put it on the ground. My Royal King. Oh my God. That's so beautiful because I feel as much as we will lie about it, a little of our parents' marriage or lifestyle still lies in us one way or the other, even if not all. Even some will say it's a lie, but it's either you want to stop it or you don't want to repeat their mistake, but you still know in one way or the other, a little of them, a pinch of them still lies in us. So before I call the convener of the show, there's some of the things we'll be talking about. It's so beautiful to know that we believe that love can still exist some way, somehow, in a generation where we've overabused what love is. We've abused love to be sex, we've abused love to be a passing of time, we've abused love to be two broken individuals or destabilized individuals coming together to think that they can make themselves whole for their displays. So today, our convener will be talking about a couple of things we have on board. Have you ever heard the word attachment style? I will just brief what we'll be talking about. And if yes, what does that mean to you? This is what we'll be discussing when she comes on board. How can we figure out any attachment styles? Okay. I guess you know what attachment is when you're attached to somebody. So we'll be asking you, have you ever heard the word attachment styles? Because there are different types of attachment styles. And if you have, what does that mean to you? How can you figure out your attachment style? Because different people with different kind of attachments. You can be emotionally attached to somebody, you can be this and that, financially attached to somebody, and different conversations you'll be talking deeply in. And we also have how does this experience of how does your childhood experience, like being strict, having strict parents or parents that are distant to you, affects the way you connect with people? I think this we can experience it in our various life growing up has influenced one way or the other our self-esteem or how we relate to everybody. How has it affected you personally in how you relate to maybe your relationship? Then we also have these two people have different attachment struggles. How can they build a healthy relationship? So when I mean attachment struggles, two broken individuals, how do they still come? Do you think it's possible for two broken individuals to come and actually make a whole relationship? How is it possible? How can they bring out a healthy relationship? And we'll be looking out for last on board. In what ways do attachment styles show up in friendship, romance, relationship, and even at work? As much as we will say that we want to limit attachment styles to relationship alone. There are a lot of dysfunctional people in our workplace that bring in baggages from childhood and come and frustrate their colleague. Like me, I'm home. I don't like stress. Look at me very well. I don't like stress. They'll come and stress me in my office and be saying, oh, no, never. We've heard a lot of people that have low self-esteem. Maybe they were bullied from small, and when they grow up, they were bullied from small, and when they grow up and maybe they're working in an organization, they begin to bring this energy of bully. They begin to bully their colleague. They begin to. It didn't just start now. It started from when they started. It started from how they grew up. So we want to really know beyond relationship. It's not only relationship. That doesn't end with relationship alone. There are other your business associates, finances, investment. How do you relate with attachment to other stuff? Some people that they are not attached to relationship. But when it comes to business, or more, that my $1 million, if I know if I keep it. There's people that are like that. It's attachment too. So we are going to be exploring beyond just only basically relationship. But we know that this world is beyond only just relationship. It's beyond sex. It's more deeper than that. So hopefully you're going to be connecting to your inner channels and get better, improve better, and find an answer to that question you have been looking for. All right, with a standing innovation, let's celebrate the mastermind behind this idea, behind this initiative, the person who have decided to stand out to bring lives together for impact. Let's celebrate a philanthropist in the making. Let's celebrate a mental health activist. Let's celebrate the latest Oprah Winfrey board, the latest of Michelle Obama. Yes, because that's what they do. They inspire people. So let's show our hands together for Delight.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's sit down. Thank you very much, Debbie. That was a really nice introduction. How are we doing? How are we? Are we sure? So I posted something on WhatsApp the other day, and I made three propositions, and I've been trying to remember what I posted. But one of the things I said was, your ex is not the problem. And everybody went ballistic, like, are you mad? What do you mean? My ex is the problem. So what if I told you that you are also the problem? Would you fight with me? No, my ex is the problem. My ex was a devil. My ex was this. So today we'll be talking about attachment styles. But this is a conversation. I won't be doing like all of the talking. So everyone is going to contribute to this conversation before I get into what I have for everyone today. I really want to appreciate you for coming. It looks really small. It looks like a small gathering. But what I believe is that Mutation International is all about changing the world one conversation at a time. So we've had the January edition where we talked about traumas. We've had February, we talked about adult friendships. And now this is March, we are talking about attachment styles. So imagine someone came in January, the person now understands their trauma, came in February, understands how to navigate adult friendships, and now we are talking about attachments. Their lives are changing, and over time, the way they interact with people, they gradually start changing the world around them. So the first question we have today is, have you ever heard of attachment styles? I want everyone to contribute to this. So it's just a yes or no answer. If you have heard about it before, what does it mean?
Okay. Basically, the first time I've ever heard about it is when I saw the
Flyer.
program, the flyer,
Okay.
and I just read the topic attachment styles. I thought about it, but I was like, since I'll be here, that I will get
You
more
learn more.
idea
All right.
about it.
Thank you very much. So, amiable cameraman, have you heard of attachment styles?
No, I've not.
Okay, so this is the first time you're hearing about it.
Yes.
All right. Debbie, a wonderful host.
Yeah, I think I've heard of attachment, not attachment styles.
Okay.
So I'm
What do
open
you
to find out.
understand by attachment?
Okay, attachment when you're glued to somebody emotionally, yes, psychologically, you just cannot let go of that particular thing. You're glued to that thing, and it could be because of what you are getting from the person, or a lot of investment happening into that thing. So that's why I know.
All right, God's will. Have you ever heard of attachment styles?
Yeah, I've heard about attachment actually, but
Okay,
not the
not
styles.
attachment styles. Okay.
Yeah. So when I saw the caption too, I was also looking forward to learn more about what the
About
styles are and how it's affecting
our life
our life.
and our mental health.
Yeah.
All right, that's fantastic. Let's clap for ourselves. Thank you very much. Yes, we are going to go into that. But before we go into that, I have some questions on the board and we're going to answer them genuinely, honestly. We have to be honest. Um, we have about 10 questions. So your focus is you're just going to take the sheet of paper and answer them. So you're going to answer each question honestly using the following scale. So let's say number one question. When I feel close to someone, I worry they will leave me. Do you strongly agree with that or do you disagree? Can you see the board? Should I shift this? You can see it. Okay. So do you agree that they're going to leave you? Do you feel you understand how to answer these kind of things from 1 to 5 or so on a scale of 1 to 5? So let me share these papers. I also have some pens. Do you have a pen with you? Okay, so you just need the paper. So you're just going to label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 10. That's what you're going to do. Then number one question, if your answer is 5, you write 5. If your answer for number 2 is 3, you answer 3, just like that. Till you get to the end of the list. Okay? So all of us are going to do that. Okay, I have a pen here. So we're all going to answer the questions. So answer it as honestly as you can. Slay, what are we going to do? So maybe later you can answer as well. Yeah. So let's all. Do you have a pen, Gospel? Yes? Okay, I do have a pen. No, no, no. Write anywhere. That other place doesn't mean anything. So we have about 3 minutes to go through the questions and get our answers. Just be as honest as possible. Forget about what the answer is, what the results are going to be. You don't understand it yet, so is anyone done? Are these questions making you think? Yeah, so it's not a simple this is not primary school test. Even though it's just 10 questions, it's something we have to think deeply about. What if you're what? You're single, but you've had other relationships. So most of the questions were like friends or partners. Yeah, so you can see that. Let me find the one that has that. So it doesn't have to be if my partner or friends. So it can be your friends. It doesn't have to be partners. You can see another partner or friends. Because attachment doesn't only show up in romantic relationships, it also shows up in friendships as well. Are you done? Are you done? All right, so sum up your answers. Sum up all the numbers that you gave. Some of the answers. What did it result in? What's the number you had at the end of the day? You have your phone. Use calculator on your phone if you have to. Have we all summed it up? What's it giving you? Gossip, you are smiling. 32. Okay, Gossip, hold on. Gossip has 32. Anxious. You're 31. That's anxious. What's yours? 24. 24. 24. Okay. Okay. Now, we have 4 different attachment styles here. But your 24, you know your 24 is almost anxious because why is it at the extreme? So I'll categorize you as anxious because why does it have to be 24? So how can I figure out my attachment style? So we just did a simple exercise. So this is one of the many ways you can find out what your attachment style is or are. So what are some common myths people believe about being too independent or too needy in a relationship? So which would you prefer? Would you prefer to be too needy? Like, are you the kind of person that if you are in a friendship or in a relationship, someone is your friend or someone is your romantic partner, you are too needy, like you're always depending on them for everything, you're clinging to them? Or are you the type that is too independent? You don't even care if they exist, like, oh, they should go to hell, Jerry. I don't care. So, which of them are you? On which side of the spectrum are you? So once again, we're going to go around. Think about all of your past friendships, your past relationships. What kind of a person are you? Are you too independent or too needy?
Okay, first of all, is there a bridge? Is there a middle
Okay.
of it? Because I am not too independent, but I can be independent.
Okay.
But I am not dependent at all.
On you. Okay. And there's never been a time when you were one extreme of both. Never.
Let's say once,
Which one were you?
too independent.
Okay, good. Let's take that. Let's just say she's too independent. Which one are you?
Okay. I think I'm independent. Yeah, because personally, I don't like bothering people with my problems.
Your problems,
Yes.
okay?
First of all, I like to find a way to figure it out myself. Unless it gets to a point where, if that's the last thing I do, unless it gets to a point where I can't do this anymore, as it's now out of my control, I need to get somebody. But the first thing that I
It's too independent.
is just go independent and try to
Okay.
sort this out.
Except it's killing you. That's the only time. Which one are you?
Okay, so I would say I am dependent.
Okay.
But then if I would have to ask, it might be when the relationship is actually like, if it's a relationship that just started, I might have to act like 4 months into the relationship just to just to be sure that okay, this person wouldn't make me feel less of myself if I'm asking. So most times I'd rather not ask, or if I'm to ask, it will really take a very long time before I ask. So basically that's it. And then I'm not so much of that person that would love to tell my partner my financial problems.
Okay.
I'd rather tell my friends.
Keep it
I'd
to
rather
yourself.
disturb my friends or my family, but not my partner. Because I kind of feel she would insult me for it.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, what's my face? Why? Okay, I think my went through phases. I think at one point when I was much younger, when I was in my maybe 21, 22, I think I was over dependent. I won't lie. I was a fine girl. I'm still a fine girl. Guys, do you want to collect money? Collect money. Fine boy. They will give me money. I will collect it. Yes, now I'll collect the money. Oh, do you want this? I'll collect it. But the more I grew old,
Disrupted our
so what
life, life again. But
okay. Am I to start again?
you don't have to, don't worry. Okay,
I'm
I've
good.
heard everything everyone
Mhm.
say. Thank you very much. So we've all seen where we are. Some are too independent and some are too needy, but there's nothing wrong with that. Let's keep going. How do childhood experiences like strict parents or distant parents affect the way we connect with people today? What kind of parents did you have? So Rejoice is currently too independent. He's too needy. He's too independent. You have moved from too needy to too independent. So what kind of parents did you have? Was it a strict parent or a distant? Do you know what a distant parent is? Someone who wasn't like really present in your life. Maybe they have money, they'll just come, drop off cash for you and your siblings, disappear, come back, that kind of thing. So what kind of parent did you have? Were they distant or were they always present? And when they were present, were they very strict? So share your which of the spectrum are you on?
Okay, first of all, I was raised by a single mom. My dad died when we were very, very little, like very little. So my mom, well, let's say, refused to remarry, even though suitors were coming for her, but she didn't want to. So I would say that I became independent from the way she raised us.
Okay.
She raised me to be an independent lady, like you are doing your things in your own way. And the thing made me, though my mom was strict, she was strict in such a way of guys, men, intended, she was strict throughout. And it wasn't only me, my siblings too. She also was strict to them in some ways because like she didn't want us to feel that due to we don't have a father, that means we have to be going the other way entirely. And she was also working, trying to feed us and all. So it made me to be independent, that I depend on myself for everything I need. I don't ask and I don't open up, but I gradually started opening up to her, and I found out that she's just, let's say, as I am,
Yes.
but just that that's my mom, this is
Yeah.
me. So when we started opening up to each other, that's when I started understanding her in different lights, and now understanding what she faced during that whole
Those
period
years.
till now. So it made me independent, the person, but I've been trying to, allow the guys do their own. Why me? I'll do my own, but along the line, still, I'll still like to do
For my
what
independence.
my independence.
Thank you
So
very much, Joyce. So I don't know if you've noticed anything from that story. She made mention of the way she was raised and then discovering that her mom is just like her. So let's just hold that thought. Okay.
Okay, for me, my parents were very present,
Okay.
and they were strict, but not that strict. But they ensured that we didn't do bad things. So they were just there, monitoring us and all of that. And then they were also providing things for us. So we didn't have need to ask anything from anybody. In fact, we were not even visiting our uncles, our relatives. We didn't go for holidays. We were always in the house, and everything we needed when we were small was just there. So we don't know how to ask for things. So because at that point, whatever we needed was not available for. So there was no need for. So I think that's where the independence thing came from.
Came from.
Because so I felt like, okay, whatever it is that I need, I can always find a way to figure it out, something like that. So I mean that's how it is.
I'm thinking where I can start from. Okay, for me, I think I was raised by, I think mine was a narcissist system of government. I call it a system of government because my dad is a police officer, my mom is a police officer. Oh, really? So you said, wow. So I was raised in a very strict family, extremely strict. But as much as I was raised in a strict family, I think they were more strict in terms of relationships, dating. My dad see me with a guy at that time when I was still 10, 12. He would beat the boy, serious beating, follow him to his house. Like, I saw you show that. Like, it was that very serious. But beyond that, I think among my siblings, I decided to stand out to be more independent in terms of I started working early as at the age of 17. I started working and earning. When I finished secondary school, I was more engaged. But in terms of how I was raised with a very disciplined family. My dad was very like he was that kind of person that when they do pam 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 pam, all the children has run out of the parlor. But maybe because of the kind of job I'm doing, when I entered university, I began to move with different kind of people. I gave my life to Christ. I began to move with friends that were more exposed. I began to get my identity right more self-esteem. And now there's nobody I cannot talk to. I understand who I am more. And I also bless God that my mom also is someone that's accessible. Knowing that she married someone like my dad that is actually like a warlord, the only person like I always felt scared. Okay, will she be like that? But she wasn't like that. She was accessible. We could talk anything from sex, condom to it was that crazy. So I had a very solid relationship with my mom. So that was like my lifesaver. So it wasn't all that messed up like the military system of government I had in my house. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Yeah, your turn, please.
Okay, so for me, I wouldn't say I had strict parents. They were ever present, but they were not really that strict. My dad just had principles which we understood that we can't go against. My dad flogged us when I was small, flogged my senior siblings, but when he got to me, he flogged me, but after a while he stopped. So I just understood that okay, he's a principled man. And due to the fact that people knew him in his hometown and even where I stay, I now understood okay, I couldn't really I couldn't really go against some things. And also my parents didn't teach me about love and sex. I learned it by myself. But my senior sisters taught me early that if I'm following a girl, I must have money. That was what they taught me early. So when I was having girls I was chiking in second, my senior sister, my direct senior sister, always taught me that I must have money or this girl will finish me. And she was like, she told me, "Mm, your mom did not follow people at an early age. So why are you following girls? This and this will happen. You would get her pregnant. All of the pregnancy, giving girls money were the things I was
That scared
introduced
you.
to and told to. So sex, love, I had to teach myself basically. Society had to teach me how to learn it the bad way. But when I now, let me say like 22, 23, that was when I now need that, okay, I'm happy that I learned this thing, but I didn't do so much of bad things. And I'm also happy that now I can use everything I've learned to decide how to follow a relationship without needing my parents. So I never had those things of, hey, mommy, let me tell you about my girlfriend. It never happened in my house. None of my siblings, senior siblings, our it. None of my senior siblings told you, mommy, this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend. It was never. My parents never taught him about Valentine. It was never mentioned in the house. There's no Valentine's Day. It's Christmas, Easter. There was never Valentine's Day. New Year, but there's never Valentine's Day. So I never saw where my dad would give my mom gifts. I never saw this. I only saw these things in movies. So basically, my house was a principal day. I had to learn the different side of principal outside, basically.
A round of applause for ourselves. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you very much. Okay, I share my struggle. You know, I'm typically a storyteller, but Gospel has asked me to stop telling stories. So, yes, I have anxious attachments. So, when I love people, I'll cling to you and I'll not want to let you go. And it didn't start from like relationships, started from friendships from when I was really, really young. So if I have someone I call a friend, I shared some of these stories last month during the attachment adult friendships. So you can also check it out on YouTube. The stories are there where these people will keep on showing me shaggy, but no, I'll cling to them. And I'm going to explain why that happened. Okay. Yeah, so it happened first, second, third, happened severally where I just keep on getting into these friendships and I love them so dearly. One of the questions here is what is that question? What is that question? Yes, number 4. This is typically me. So I feel like my partner or friends don't care about me as much as I care about them. So I will care, love, do everything, but I'm not getting the same energy back. So about growing up, so my parents during my very, very early age, they were really busy with church work. So I would say they were distant at that time. So at least the first 7 years of my life, they were focused on church work, trying to make sure that they do well in their ministry. And somehow my brother and I were neglected at that time. And it got me exposed to a number of things. I talked about some of them during the trauma edition. I talked about being abused as a child sexually and all of those things. So it made me very anxious when I started forming friendships, when I started forming relationships, because I did not really have that love I needed as a child, that present parent I needed as a child. So if I see anybody that shows any sign of likeness for me, I want to choke them with love. Like I would go above and beyond just so that I can keep them in my space. Okay? So that's like a brief, too long, didn't read version of my story. So the last question I want to ask before I fully go into the teaching is: have you ever been in a relationship or a friendship where one person is pulling away while the other person craves attention or closeness? Is it something we've ever experienced? So if you've ever experienced anything like that, I'll be happy to, hear you share your story. Anyone like that? Do we have any experiences like that? Maybe you are the one that craves closeness and the other person is pulling away, or you are the one that is pulling away while the other person is craving closeness. So, which version of the story, which part of the this thing, which side of the pendulum are you okay? What you wants to share?
Yeah, I had a friend one time, a girl
Okay,
actually. So she likes me so much, but I like her, but I didn't like her as much as
she liked you.
because I felt like for me, I don't like dating somebody that cannot be my wife.
Okay,
So I would like to date someone that if I want to marry you, it will be very easy for me to marry you. I don't want to come and date somebody that I mean. So at that point, I felt like she can't be my wife. She can't be so, but she liked me so much. It was just but I was the one pulling away.
pulling
Why she's the
away.
one,
Mm,
that kind of a thing. So yeah.
okay, wow, that's so sad. Friends like that. All right. So one general question for you. Do you want to share? Okay.
Well, basically, for mine, I had someone where we're in a relationship, but midway into the relationship, she began to pull away. And I was the person doing more of things that were not myself just to make it work. I was I was not talking in the relationship. It was a part of me, but then it became more worse because even when I'm angry, even when I'm happy, she doesn't know. I don't say anything. And even when I have a gist or something to come, or even when I have a gist or something to tell her, I could just meet her in the afternoon, and prior to me telling her, she just does one thing and I just lock up because I'm like, she has come back to her attitude. There's no need telling her anything. So I was, and it was that bad because the more I tried to make it work, the more she gave me more reasons to not want the relationship. And maybe I was just that type of person that had so much of love, and not only having so much of love, I don't like so much of drama. I don't like so much of noise. I don't like so much of fast boost. So I wanted peace at all costs. But she
At
was,
the expense of yourself.
and maybe because of the fact that I wasn't saying anything when I was angry, she never knew I could actually turn around. So when and it just couldn't work. And I had to now bring out my rebellious self, not beating her, but doing the worst to actually break the relationship. Because what I did almost made her lose her job. I do not like saying
Toxic behavior. Okay, thank you very much for sharing. A round of applause for everyone. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. So now, this leads us to the first question. What are attachment styles? Attachment styles describes how we connect with others in relationships based on our early experiences with caregivers. This conversation is very important. A lot of us, like we took a poll. Almost all of us have never heard about attachment styles. So I'll take it again. Attachment styles describe how we connect with others. You can give her the number so that, okay, so that she can. She's calling me. Okay, so let's continue. They are videoing with the phone itself. Let's continue from where we stop. So please welcome. We have an assessment on the phone, so you're going to do yours as well while we are speaking. People can give her a pen. We have 10 questions. So you're going to answer it honestly. Do you strongly agree? Do you disagree? Neutral. So these are the 10 questions. So just create number one, two, three. Just write it then. Write your score based on this. And you let us know what your answer came to. The score, the total score you have. All right, so let's continue. So attachment styles describe how we connect with others in relationships. And I was saying that relationships are not necessarily romantic relationships. It's not boy-girl relationship. It's relationship of any sort. Girl, boy, man, son, different relationship dynamics at work, at home, among friends, whatever, but relationships in general. So they are these are based on our early experiences with caregivers. Who is your caregiver? Your primary caregiver, especially your father, your mother. The way you connected with them during those first 5 years of your life is what determines your attachment style. Did we get that? So if someone asks you now, oh, you just walked out of this event and they talked about attachment style, explain it to me. Can we explain it now? Can we define it at least? So attachment style, I'll take it for the last time, describes how we connect with others in relationships based on our early experiences with caregivers. And now there are four major types of attachment styles. As we have on the board, there is secure attachment, there's anxious, there's avoidant, and there's disorganized. There are other sub attachment styles, but these are the four main ones. You hear something like dismissive avoidance. That's a sub form of avoidant attachment. So if you dig more into the attachment style, there are so many other types, but these are the four major types of attachment style. So let's walk through them. Secure attachment means you are comfortable with intimacy, independence, you trust others, and maintain healthy relationship. And that is the goalpost. That's what we all try. That's what we're all striving to get to. We all want to be securely attached to people and not anxiously attached or avoidant attached. So when you have secure attachment, you are comfortable with it. You're not running away from love or relationship or connection with people. You're not running away from it. You're comfortable with it, but you're still independent. It's not that okay, I'm now in this relationship or I'm now in this friendship and all about your life has stopped simply because you are with this person or you have a friend. You are comfortable with the relationship, but you are still independent and you trust others and you maintain healthy relationship. It's only this attachment style that can actually result in healthy relationships. Every other attachment style, this is the root cause of most relationship issues we see, whether it's relationship among family members, relationship among work colleagues, across the board, because people have different attachment styles they are working around with. This one is running away from connection, the other one is clinging. So how do you think the both can come together to make sense? Do we understand? So secondly, we have anxious attachment. This my category. This is where I fall in. Craving closeness. You fear abandonment and you need constant reassurance. This is where I fall into. And got you, and you. Please have you done your tax? Have you done your tax? So yeah. So you see, when you are craving closeness and you're afraid of abandonment, that's my attachment style. I remember when I was with my ex, I would always type this thing to him: "You have abandoned me." It was something I always, let's say I've said like the whole day, he has not texted, he has not come, "You have abandoned." Why do I always, like, why is that the first thing that comes to me? I didn't even know at that time, I didn't even know that okay, this is attachment actually. But I remember that I always did that. I'm always typing, "You have abandoned me, you have abandoned me." Because that fear of abandonment is inside of me. I'm always craving clothes. I always want to, if it's possible to enter inside your body, let me be inside you. Okay. And I'm afraid. I need you to always reassure me, always tell me that, because what maybe between yesterday and today it has changed. So need of constant reassurance. And that's why I'll say my love languages are words of affirmation and acts of service. So I want to know you're constantly telling me that yes, yes, yes. And you're constantly doing it like acts of service, you're showing. So that is for anxious attachment. Then we have avoidant attachment. This person values intimacy and values independence over intimacy. And this is the category that my ex fell into. I think some people here mentioned that they are overly independent. They are independent. So they prefer it over, yes, how someone will be coming close to you. I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg. What's this nonsense? You just cut it off. What's this one trying to do? You prefer your independence. And it gets to a point where it becomes toxic independence. You're like intimacy is not important to you, friendship is not connection, you don't like, you're running away from it. So that's avoidant attachment. And you avoid any kind of, let's say you're having a conversation with someone and it's getting emotional, you're now beginning to review things about you end that discussion immediately. How can I let my you have this very high guard, like your guard is so high that you can't let anyone, it's like you have a fence around you and you are warding everybody off from you. So once anybody's beginning to like you, you're running. Or you're doing something to consciously push them away. You might also like the person, oh, but no. I can't let this person is going to destroy my I don't know, it's something that happens in the mind, but you just feel like no, this person is not welcome. This is like a foreign body. No, you're not allowed. And even if you say you love the person or whatever, you need to frustrate that person. Now, a lot of times, this attachment style, like I mentioned when I was always typing, you abandon me. I didn't even know. Or you are always needy. Showed, but I know that my major attachment style, 70%, showed, but I know that my major attachment style, 70%, is anxious attachment. But there are a few times that I've showed avoidant attachment, like something is someone or something is coming close and I'm running. So in disorganized attachment, these people have both. They have a combination of anxious and avoidance. Sometimes you are running, other times you are craving closeness. And this is often due to the trauma of inconsistent caregiving. Let's say you had a parent that sometimes they'll just come, how are you? I love you so much. You. And then tomorrow you will run to them to hug you and kiss you again. And come on, we get out. Like as if they are bipolar, that kind of thing. Like maybe the person was struggling with some financial issues, being a parent is not easy. Maybe they are like having challenges of their own. But your brain as a child writes the script and interprets it that this person doesn't love me. Your brain will just write all this and interpret it to itself. And you just see yourself acting a certain kind of way when you become an adult. Do we understand? Can we soak it in? Lauren Sawyer will say soak it in. Soak it in. Okay. So those are the 4 different attachment styles. So based on my explanation now, what is your attachment style? I want everyone to speak. Remember, this is a very, safe. And if you say what is your attachment style, you have to give us an example of why you think that's your attachment style. So that this will be like an interlude, like a short break before we continue. Please, I'm still waiting for your answer. Okay. Okay, you're still thinking. Okay, so you've seen that the mutation monthly series is like, is that time when you take a break and just think, suddenly start thinking about your life and things that you didn't know were important. Debbie, have you thought of something? Have you thought of, based on what we shared, which one is your attachment style? Do you think you know the answer? Not based on the test, like based on what I explained now.
Yeah, based on what you said, I feel avoidance.
Okay.
The power you mentioned, sometimes maybe you just put create a big wall. Maybe sometimes maybe I like this guy and this guy likes me, and is asking me out, and I just feel like, oh, okay, I like you, but there's no future there. Don't let us deceive ourselves. We can all pass, we can be passing time, but there's no future there. We cannot head anywhere. So instead of wasting time, I just put that.
Say no.
Not say no. Not like say no, but we can be friends. We just we enjoy our company together, our attention. But like I put a fence, or more, it can't go
Friend zone the
past
person.
the friend zone the person.
Chai.
What?
Does anyone else have anything else? You want to answer? Based on what we understand now about different attachment styles, which one is your attachment style?
Okay, so I would say secure and anxious. Secure and anxious. Why? Because I would say one, I'm so much of a lover boy.
Okay.
And being a lover boy has made me understand that even while in the whole time of having an issue with someone, I'm not that person that would want to rest on the fact that we have an issue. I'm more concerned of, okay, this has happened. How can we find a solution to it?
We have a tax on the problem, fine. So everyone has to do it. I'll explain it later, but just have the paper and pen. Okay, so are you done? You said secure
I
and
was waiting
anxious, was it?
secure and anxious.
Okay, so explain the anxious part.
Okay, anxious. Why? Because I don't like drama.
Okay, you don't
I
like
don't
drama.
like noise. I don't like buzz boost.
So,
So even while I'm having an issue with someone,
mhm.
I'm not concerned about the issue. My main focus is, okay, this has happened. What is the next solution? How can we get back? What are we doing? So if you are distant from me because we're having an issue, I won't care if you would end my calls. But I'm more concerned if this has happened. Can we get back and can we solve this?
So
And
I'm still trying to I'm still trying to reconcile how this is anxious. Remember, let me read anxious to you again. You crave closeness, you fear abandonment, and you need constant reassurance.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So when I do call 3 or 4 times and you're ending my call, if you are someone that is close to me, I'll get to see you. Not to ask you why you're ending my calls, but to make you understand that we shouldn't even be dwelling on the fact that we have issues for so long.
Do you
And
think that's anxious attachment?
because you are far from me and you are keeping yourself away from me. And
If you're anxious attached, you won't heaven will fall down because that person has refused to pick your call. Like you'll be going crazy, you'll go ballistic, you'll type like 100 messages before the person will come online. Like, have you abandoned me? Is this how you want to break up with me? Why are you doing like this? Why you
and maybe
You know,
I'm not
you'll be
so
like-
much of that drama person. But I
it might
do it
not
in
be
a certain
drama,
way.
but yeah, they might be. Okay. So there are 4 major attachment styles. So there are other sub attachment styles, but we're talking about the 4 major. So there are other sub like the one you mentioned. There's dismissive, avoidant, and a number of them like that. But we want to look at the 4 major ones. We'll look at the umbrella ones. Maybe later we can talk about the sub. So we're looking at secure, anxious, and avoidant, then disorganized attachment. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing.
All right.
Gus, do you want to share?
Yes. I think anxious is,
Defines you.
yeah, you just mentioned something about, okay, mentioned something about typing 100 messages before someone comes to
Yes, that's you.
I remember one time, like, I'm just kind of person that when I love you, like, or I'm in a relationship, I'm just all in.
That's me too.
I'm all, like,
Hi, OJ, welcome.
I'm
Yeah.
all in. I'm going to give it
That's
my
anyway.
my very best, you know. I'm going to do whatever it is I can do to keep you. So when now, like, it happens to me when there was this girl I was dating at the time. So after a while, she started becoming distant, and I didn't know why she was
Okay.
behaving like that. Somebody like before that time, like I can't go a day without calling. But now this is 1 week. You have not spoken on the phone. I felt like dying. It
I
was
can relate.
it was so terrible. Like I was like, what's going on? This
Okay.
is not our style. Why are you behaving like
Yeah.
this? So I didn't understand what was going on. So it was so strange.
Welcome.
Like I don't
Have a
know.
nice day.
I tried to
I'll
call,
explain
no
it
way.
later.
I
I'll
was
explain
sending
it.
messages,
Just
no
have a paper
responses.
and
So I tried all the medium of communication that I could use to get.
pen. I can
I
relate.
didn't. I was like, in fact, I stopped using my number to call. I had to use some-
That's anxious attachment. No, that's anxious
No.
attachment. Trust me.
I wanted to find out why.
See, if you are not anxiously attached, you will not understand the way it works. I understand everything you say. I've been there. Like you use Facebook and chat, you use WhatsApp, you call with your friend's number to make sure that the person is not intentionally avoiding your call.
So I think that's that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, OJ is just coming. Let's ask peace first. We'll ask the question. Let peace. Peace, you got the question. So okay, it's off. can turn it on. Based on what we've explained, which one do you think you are and why? You can give us an example.
Okay. Okay, so I'm still going through.
Okay.
I think I can be anxious and avoidant.
Give
Okay.
us examples of that.
Okay.
Maybe
So
anxious. Give an example of where you've been
when
anxious.
when I'm anxious, okay. So in that area, I feel the like for example, I'm trying to reach out to someone. I call the person is not picking. I'll send text message. I'll start imagining
What
what's
could
happening,
exactly?
why that person is
It's
not
not
picking
picking.
my call at
Mm-hmm.
that moment. And like I want it now, 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 now,
Yes.
now. So it's a default.
Yeah.
Okay, then
Avoidance.
avoidance. So I'm not looking at number 4.
Mm-hmm. I often feel that my partner or friends don't care about me as much as I care about them. Is this something
I feel that way.
okay?
Then number 5, I prefer to handle my problem alone rather than seeking support from others. I feel that way too.
Okay.
And sometimes I could feel it's as a result of past relationship, and sometimes you just trust yourself alone. So I don't know what kind of attachment is that. So disorganized, right?
You have a combination of both. Because this speaks to avoidance and this speaks to anxious. And you
Okay,
can relate to both.
okay. So that's mine.
Do you want to contribute today? You don't understand? Eh? Okay, you don't have an idea. Okay, so while we were speaking, Jessica and OJ walked in and they are lost, kind of. So I'll quickly run through what I've said. And they have a task to, attend to on the board because I want everyone who attends this session to at least go home with that. So we are discussing attachment styles, and we say that attachment styles describe the way we connect with others in relationships. And these relationships don't have to be romantic relationships. It can be friendships, family, whatever, across board, work relationship. So in secure attachments, you are comfortable with intimacy and independence. You trust others and you maintain healthy relationships. For anxious, you are craving closeness, you are afraid of abandonment, and you need constant reassurance. In avoidance, you value independence over intimacy. It's like you built this big wall around yourself. You are avoiding any kind of deep emotional connection with people. And the last one is disorganized attachment. This one is where you have a mix of both. Sometimes you are anxiously attached, other times you are avoidant. So, and this is usually due to inconsistent. When you were younger, the care you received was very, because sometimes maybe your parents love you, they show you love, they kiss you, take care of you. Other times you try to run to them and they're like, get out. So it writes a script in your mind where you have this inconsistency. So sometimes you're loving people, other times you're running away. So that's what we've done in a nutshell. So we want everyone to like get the tags done. So what you have to do is read the questions and decide how true it is. Do you agree, strongly disagree? Just on a scale of 1 to 5. So when you've answered 1 to 10, get the total of what you had and you let us know. All right. So let's keep going. So the next thing is, why do attachment styles? Now, why are we even discussing about this? Like, say this one won't give us money. Like, why exactly are we even talking about this? This is because your attachment style affects the way you handle conflict. While we were discussing, a lot of people said they avoid wahala. I think Gospel said that I don't like wahala. He said I don't like wahala. You know, a lot of us, I think you've also said it a couple of times. I don't like wahala. Like I don't want problem. Everybody we just try to avoid conflict. But is it possible to have a world where there are no conflicts? Is that really possible? Even in drama, even in literature, we have beginning, we have climax, where that's where trouble comes, and we have the end. And imagine this world. Let's take a moment to imagine a world where there are no problems. Do you think that would be an interesting world? Like you just wake up in the morning, there's food, there's money, there's everything, there's Netflix, there's you don't need to go to school, you don't need to work. I mean, you're going to get I think there was a movie that depicted that. Someone once told me about that kind of movie. Is it The Good Place? That was like a kind of heaven. They don't have any worries, and over time they got bored and tired. They hated themselves, and so, so we need to learn about attachment styles because we learn how to handle conflict. It affects how we handle conflict. It affects how we express love. Like we've talked about a situation where someone is anxiously attached and that person is avoidantly attached, and both of them are trying to make a relationship work. It can't work because while one is craving closeness, the other one is running away from the closeness. How does it want to work? Another one is your ability to trust people. If you have anxious attachments or you have avoidant attachment, you can't trust people because for the one who has avoidant attachment, the person has already built a very huge fence around themselves. They can't even allow anyone penetrate that fence. And for you who is anxiously attached, you're afraid of abandonment. So that means as someone is trying to show that you're saying this one that's in like this, shey this one will not abandon me tomorrow. And you remember the need for constant reassurance. So maybe because the person said I love you yesterday and doesn't say I love you today, are you sure this person still loves me? So that constant trust issue is there. It also affects the way you regulate emotions. A lot of us don't know how to regulate emotions. You know, we don't know when to be calm. We don't know when to be angry. We don't know when to shout. We just it's just a very, you know, scattered puzzle in our brains. We just don't know when to do what. But when you understand attachment styles, you know when it's your attachment that is playing out. And when something like when he said you like got you to you text right now I understand my attachment style, so I won't go ahead and be texting someone like 100 messages before they come online. So I understand that okay, no, there's no problem. This person has other things to do apart from me. There's a life outside this relationship or this friendship. So maybe they are actually not near their phone. Maybe you would not just believe that this person just wants to abandon me, because that's the first thing my anxious mind tells me. This person doesn't like me anymore. This person hates me. you know. So I now know how to regulate my emotions. I know when to react, and when not to react. When to know that it's fine. Because now the anxious me will be like, if that person ignores. Now when the person finally comes and responds, heaven, I already sent you like 100 minutes, you not replying, I've called you everything, like you don't even have a moment to breathe. You don't even, and anything they tell you, you believe is a lie. Because you've already written the script in your mind of what the answers should actually be. Your attachment style affects your self-worth and boundaries. If you are anxiously attached, trust me, people will match on you. I can talk for myself as someone who has anxious attachments. I don't even have any boundaries, or I did not have any boundaries. I cannot say no because you always remember you are afraid of abandonment. So if for any reason someone who relates to you in a relationship with you, in a friendship with you, asks for a favor or anything, you cannot say no, because who knows, if I say no, this person will leave me. This person will abandon me. So somehow you just always say yes to everything. You don't have any boundaries. You lose yourself because you believe yourself. But remember the constant need for reassurance. You feel like, okay, if this, maybe I'm not good enough. That's why this person doesn't. Your brain just keeps on writing a lot of scripts. So that's why it's really important that we have these conversations around attachment styles. So when you understand your attachment styles, it helps you build healthier relationships. Imagine a relationship, a friendship where two people who are securely attached come together, where one person is not running away and another person is not clinging, where it's is of equal measure and it's very achievable. Yes, we can ask questions, but not now. Yes, but you can write down your questions so that you don't forget them. Okay, so building helps us build healthier relationships. It helps us heal from our past, just like what I've explained today. The first 5 years of your life, the attachment style you have today is as a result of that, because that's when attachments are formed. So the way your primary caregivers showed love or lack of love to you, it now affects your brain has written that script and it now affects every other relationship. So this is why we all in the room, whether we are parents or potential parents, we need to be we need to pay attention to the way we raise our children, because you might think they are still children, but remember what I said, the first 5 years their brain has already written that script, and you see them going into relationships when they are 18, 20, 25, and they are acting out a script that was written when they were 1 year old, 2 year old. Okay, so we have to know that it helps you develop emotional security. Like now, if I type to someone and the person doesn't respond, I don't think they are abandoning me. I don't have that fear anymore that, oh, this person has abandoned me. No, but I used to, have that fear. So I feel more secure in myself. So how do you identify and heal your attachment style? So we've done a simple task. OJ, do you have your results? Jessica, you're still on it. Okay. Okay, so OJ, do you have the sum? 29. No, okay. So Jessica, we're waiting for you. So we gave this template, this assessment on how to identify our attachment style. So OJ, will you describe yourself as a lover boy? Like if you love, do you love? How would you describe yourself?
Well, I'll say I'm a distance lover.
Okay.
I don't tell the others I see. So whenever I go into any kind of relationship, I just know humans are humans. We are prone to
Sorry.
they are prone to making mistakes, hurting people. You get so I always go with very low expectations.
So
I
have you
will just
always been like this, or there was something that happened that led to this?
well, to the best of my knowledge, I've always
You've
been
always
like
been like
this.
this.
Yes,
So it has to do with childhood. Did you have distant parents? Were they strict?
not
Were they
at all.
present?
I didn't have distant parents or
Very
not
strict
overly
parents.
strict. They weren't.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, can turn off the mic. So, how do we identify and heal from our attachment style? The first step is we need to reflect on our childhood experiences. Trust me when I say this. Childhood, childhood, that first 5 years of a child's life, it impacts a lot. It defines you. Next month, we're going to be talking about reparenting yourself. Reparenting yourself. Because a lot of us, the way we've been parented, the way we childhood happened, a lot of things, we have to consciously start growing up to actually change those things. So we need to reflect on childhood experiences. What's one memory in your childhood that when you remember, it gives you, makes you feel cold, makes you tremble, makes you scared, you know, takes you back to that dark place. You probably shared a few tears. Do we have experiences like that? So this is like one way we can actually identify it. Do you notice a pattern in your relationships? Like I said, personally, I've noticed patterns in when I say relation, I mean like friendships, romantic relations. I've noticed the pattern that I'm loving people more than they love me, and I'm feeling like this one people are always abandoning me, and I want them to always reassure me. Do you notice any pattern like that? Is it like, I don't know if anyone is understanding what I'm saying. So this is how you identify your attachment style. Number one, reflecting on your childhood. Number two, notice patterns in your relationships. And then you can also take an attachment quiz like the one we took today. The next point is how to heal and move towards secure attachment. Because it's very important. It's not enough for us to come and talk. How do I actually heal and move towards secure attachment? So if you're anxious, if you're like me, you're anxious. Who is anxious like me? So if you're anxious, you have to practice self-soothing. You have to soothe yourself. Like you have to calm yourself. You know that thing you did not have as a child. I was the oldest child. I was the first daughter. I was always the one caring for other people. Nobody cared for me. And like I mentioned earlier, when I was like the first 5 years of my life, my parents were very busy with church work and they didn't even have time. So all those times when I would cry and I would need someone to rub my back, tap my head, all those things, nobody did it. So that's why I'm craving it in relationships now as an adult. That's why I want people to soothe me. I want you to reassure me. Do it for yourself. That's one step towards healing from your anxious attachment. You need to practice self-soothing and independence. God, I was clingy. Like I said, it remained like, let me enter into the person, like, let me be in you. You need to practice independence. So let's try at least these two things. And maybe by next month, you can tell me if you've noticed any change in your life as someone who is anxiously attached. Avoidance. How do you work on your avoidant attachment? You need to work on emotional vulnerability. You can be in a relationship with someone who is avoidant attachment and they will never tell you anything about themselves. How are you? I'm good. How was your day? My day was good. Probably their vehicle broke down in the middle of the road and a conductor collected their money and did not return it and someone slapped them and someone spat on them and all of these things happened that were crazy, but I'm good. And there's nothing you will ever do. Like you will try even when you try too much, it's be that you're worrying them. They can call you all kinds of things because you are trying to intrude into my space. Like, let me be. I told you I'm good. And you are in a relationship with someone like that, and you're wondering, I don't really know. This person doesn't tell me details about themselves because they are not wired. They cannot give you emotional. They cannot be vulnerable with you. That's the problem. Okay, so that's about avoidance. So we need to work on emotional vulnerability. Someone asks you if you're avoidant attached, someone asks you how are you or how are you doing, please tell the person how you are. Start practicing it. I'm fine. My vehicle broke down on third mainland bridge. A conductor slapped me. Something. You just need to try. Because like I said before, this is the reason why a lot of relationships, and when I say relationships, like I've always said, I'm not talking about romantic relationships. This is why a lot of relationships don't work out. Because we have all these attachment issues. You don't ask for help. And the other person is thinking, this person doesn't trust me enough. That's why they don't know it's your attachment issue. So we need to, if you are avoidantly attached, work on your emotional vulnerability and trust. Try and trust people. Yes, people hurt us, people can leave, people can walk away, but I mean that's what life is all about. Or is it not? Organized. So if you have disorganized attachment, sometimes you are running away, other times you are clinging. You need to seek trauma healing and stability. There are a lot of healing, you can find. A lot of us, like I said, this is Mutation Monkey series. Mutation 25 is happening in November. and it's all about healing. But before we get to healing, we need to know what exactly we are healing from. And that's why we had trauma in January. We had adult friendships last month. Now we're talking about attachment styles. We need to seek healing, secure. When you are secure, there's really nothing. You're already secure. But you need to watch that you don't fall by the wayside. So you need to maintain balance and healthy boundaries. And there are so many tools available online, offline, everywhere that can be of help to us. So when do attachment start from? I think I've answered this question in our early years, the way our caregivers respond to our needs. So in conclusion, the last thing we're going to look at is what are the practical steps we can take to heal. Because this edition was, let's talk about attachment style, how to heal our inner child. Like I said, I gave an example of myself. The first 5 years, there was no soothing from parents, there was no love, support, that kind of thing. So that child in me was so wounded. That child in me was seeking love so badly. And that led to that anxious attachment. So what are the steps we can take to heal our inner child and develop a more secure attachment style? Number one, you have to acknowledge your attachment wounds. We have to acknowledge that, okay, yes, it has happened. Whether my parents were present or not, they were disciplined, they were strict or not, whatever has happened has happened. Acknowledgement is the first step. And we also need to practice self-compassion. A lot of us are not compassionate to ourselves. The way we talk to ourselves, if someone else talks to you like that, you will get into a fist fight with that person. Oh, you are very stupid. Why will you make this kind of, like, we're talking to ourselves. We don't talk to ourselves. We don't talk to people that way. But we talk to ourselves like in the meanest, rudest of ways. Is this you? How do you talk to yourself? Are you kind to yourself? Or you just feel like you're stupid? You know, we have to watch the way we talk to ourselves. Speak to yourself with kindness and reassurance as you would to a child. Understand that these attachment struggles are not your fault, but it is your responsibility to heal from them. And things like daily affirmations can also help with this as well. I've talked about learning to suit yourself instead of seeking external validation. Develop ways to regulate your own emotions. Practice deep breathing, meditation, mindfulness. Just learn how to calm this anxiety. And when you are triggered, pause and ask yourself, what would my inner child need right now? What would you need? Sometimes when something happens, you're so triggered. Is it a hug that you would have needed at that time? Imagine yourself as a child. What would you need? Is it a hug? Is it for someone to push you away or someone to shout at you? We need to build emotional awareness and boundaries. I've talked about boundaries. We also be having a session on boundaries in the coming months. And we should try and surround ourselves with secure attachment. If you look around in your friendship group, I can actually tell some of my friends, I know what their attachment styles are because I've learned about this and I understand it. So I know who is securely attached, who is anxiously attached, who has avoidance attachment. But our goal should be to surround ourselves with people who are securely attached, because that's when your relationships are going to make sense. Reparent your inner child. We'll be talking about this in more depth next month. Seeking professional help. I know in Nigeria, we say therapy is not for the black man, but sometimes you need professional help. It doesn't mean you are mad. Like, I mean, as a 5-year-old child, you couldn't have helped yourself. There was nothing you could do about it. It's just what it is. There are a lot of therapies for child healing and attachment-based therapy. So there are also some support groups. You can find them online. And if there are any resources too, I can also share with the community. Be patient with yourself. So this is the point where I stop talking and open the floor for questions, contributions. I think we should take questions first. Yes. So this is when I stop talking. Jessica, do you have your answer now? What did you arrive at? 28. Anxious. Okay. The mic. Okay, someone has a question. Debbie, you had a question before. Do you still have a question? I told you to write it down. Okay. Okay. Give her the mic. Give her the mic. Sorry.
When I when I feel close to someone, I worry they will leave me. Find it difficult. So the thing is, for
Okay.
number one, when I feel close to someone, I don't worry they'll leave me.
Okay.
But you know, patterns. Okay, when I get close to somebody, maybe we start talking and like we've talked for 2 months and like we know that okay we like each other, and the person has shown me that okay this is how I am. Like okay, I like to talk and I'm calling you every time, and we talk every now and then. But then he switches.
Suddenly. Yeah.
Yes. At that instance, even if like he's not calling, I don't feel like I'm not scared that he will leave me. But when he starts doing that, I become scared that he's going to leave. So you see that it's like I don't know how to put that. So most of my answers were like neutral, neutral, because when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think about it, I'm like
It's neither yes or no.
exactly.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know if this is really accurate. I don't know what it's based on, but I don't know.
So what would you say? What do you think? Do you think you have an attachment style or an attachment issue? Is there any pattern you see in friendships or relationships with yourself?
I just know that I just know that when it comes to like relationships, I easily move on. I
Okay.
don't know. Like it's very weird, but
Usually move on. You don't waste time. You
it's
don't start brooding over.
it's very annoying and
How
weird.
early? How soon do you move on? Like the next day?
It's as bad as okay. It's as bad as like if I'm in a relationship with somebody and I feel like for every is it for every action there's a reaction, or for every reaction there's a
Yeah. For
reaction.
every action,
So
there's a reaction.
I'm trying to open my dirty linen in public, but my last relationship before like my last relationship ended, I was in the relationship. I know people say it's bad, but I don't think it's something. That's why we're here. We're talking. My last relationship before it ended, I was talking to somebody else in the relationship.
Okay.
That's bad.
So by the time this one ended, you were already in a new
Exactly.
relationship. So it wasn't. You didn't even feel
Exactly,
anything.
and that's
Okay.
that's how it has always been.
Okay.
And
So that's a pattern.
in actual sense, when I think about it, I'm like, what exactly is the problem? Like, why do I? And the thing is, even with the next person, the same energy and fire, something will still come again, and then the next person is like that. So
Okay.
I don't even know.
Okay.
I don't know, but
Okay.
Is it like you know that this one person is meant to misbehave at some point?
it just happens. It's like when it happens, it just happens. I see reasons when it happens. I now see reasons why I am actually like moving on to the next person.
Okay.
I
So
don't know what
it's
I don't know how to
always
explain it.
it's always your exes that have the problems, right?
No,
It's never
no,
you.
no, no,
Give him the mic. Let's listen.
no. It's not always there.
No, it's not. It's not a girl thing.
It's
I don't do that
it's a typical girl thing.
personally.
Girls don't uh, like they don't cut off from the relationship abruptly. They leave gently, slowly.
Mm-hmm.
You get a girl might be dating you, but she has left emotionally.
Inside her mind, she has left
You
you.
get so it's a girl thing. It's very much on the, I don't know for others, but for me, it's very much understood. Before a girl tells you, look, I'm done. She was done 6 months ago.
Okay. Okay. Then. Okay.
I don't think it's a girl thing. I think it's both sex. A guy can do that too. That's why you can see a guy dating two girls at the same time, three girls at the same time. But they know the particular girl that they feel something for. So it's not really a girl thing. And if you listen to a girl very well, before a girl leaves, girls don't hide emotions. And when they are with you, and they are with you with their emotions. Before they leave, they have said it several times. You were not paying attention. And they might not really say it with their words. And sometimes you might have done something that put them off in a way that they know that this is not, I can't be here. Yes, I can't deal with this. And they are shown it, but you're not paying attention. And they felt that if they tell you, you beg them. But once the girl tell you it's done, it's done.
Okay. Because somehow I have a vibe of men-ish, player-ish part of me. Maybe that's why I think like a man somehow sometimes. Yeah. So for me, yeah, maybe that's how I am. And I think I can relate to what she's saying too, because sometimes like it's easy for me to move on in a relationship. I will cry, yes. But when I say I'm done. But I will cry, let it out. And when I mean I'm like move on, I might wake up today, next 1 week, I've moved on. Like is that but I like the person, like I really love the person. I felt it could lead somewhere. But when I'm done, I'm done. So right to what you were saying, you said it might be a girl thing. Maybe I've been in a relationship in my early age when I was still young, my twenties, early twenties, and I was dating this guy and he will offend me. And I would just say, we just literally started the relationship and he offends me and I said, I'm breaking up. I broke up with this guy 5 times. And deep down inside me, I didn't mean it. I liked it, but I wanted him to like, okay, oh yeah, come and beg me bad. And I will literally block him on WhatsApp, block his number. I don't know if I would say it was a toxic relation, but I was young then. I was like 22, 23. So I don't know if I would say because I felt like I had time. So it would beg me, oh yeah, I'll come back again. Maybe he would just do something silly again. Maybe I would say I was childish. Do something silly again. Maybe his dressing combination was terrible. We went out on a date. I was like, why would you dress like why would you combine blue on orange? Why would you do that? I can't cope in this relationship. I break up with you. You will not go and call my sister. Ah, Lopez, beg your sister from beg Lopez for me. Okay, go. I'm like, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, we'll come back. I will unblock him on WhatsApp. We'll start again with the relationship. And I did this for 1 year in the relationship. 1 year in the relationship. We went back and forth. And it wasn't like I didn't like the guy. And it wasn't like as if I fine notice that I was going to break up. It was my mood. If I was in the mood, you were saying rubbish, I didn't come to where I dump you. Later I'll come back. And